Hey everyone, and welcome back. Have you ever asked a loved one what's wrong, only to hear nothing in a tone that screams everything? Or maybe you've been on a team project where a colleague agrees to a task, only to forget about it later. If so, you've experienced passive-aggressive behavior. It's that frustrating, confusing dance where someone expresses negative feelings indirectly, leaving you to feel guilty, confused, or just plain drained. Today, we're not here to fix others, but to empower ourselves. The goal is to develop strategies for clarity, peace, and self-respect, not to win an argument. Understanding the why. I want to share a story about a friend of mine. Let's call her Jane. We were planning a surprise party and I was so excited. I asked her for help with the invitations and she said, "Sure, whatever you want." A few days later, I asked for an update and she said, "Oh, I've been so busy. I didn't get around to it." I felt frustrated and confused. I asked her again and she said, "I told you I'm busy. Can't you do it yourself?" It was a classic passive-aggressive move. She didn't want to help, but she couldn't say no directly. This is the root of the problem. Passive-aggressive behavior often stems from a fear of direct conflict or an inability to express needs and feelings openly. It's a defense mechanism, a way of lashing out without actually lashing out. Strategies for clarity and response. So how do we deal with this? We're going to talk about 3 key strategies. Strategy 1. Direct, calm, and non-confrontational communication. When someone is being passive-aggressive, your first instinct is to react emotionally. Don't. Instead, try using I statements. For example, instead of saying, "You always act like something's wrong," try saying, "I feel confused when you say everything is okay, but your tone suggests otherwise." This approach focuses on your feelings and observations, not on their character, making them less likely to become defensive. You can also seek clarification. Phrases like, "I'm not sure I understand. Can you help me see your perspective on this?" can open a dialogue and bring clarity to the situation. I used this strategy with Jane and it worked. I said, "Jane, I feel frustrated because I'm not sure if you're comfortable helping with the party. Can you tell me what's on your mind?" She finally admitted she was overwhelmed and couldn't help. It wasn't about me, it was about her. Strategy 2. Setting clear boundaries. You can't set a boundary if you don't know what you're protecting. Start by identifying the behavior you won't tolerate. For example, you can say, "I can't continue this conversation if you're going to use sarcasm." Then, enforce it with action, not just words. If the behavior continues, you might need to disengage from the conversation or leave the room. Remember, setting boundaries isn't about pushing people away. It's about making space for yourself and protecting your peace. Strategy 3. The power of pausing. When met with the silent treatment, don't feel obligated to talk. Allow for a moment of quiet. Sometimes people need space to process. It's okay to say, "I'll be here when you're ready to talk," and then walk away. Self-reflection and personal growth. As we close, I want you to turn the mirror inward. Are there times when you might be passive-aggressive? This isn't about guilt, but about growth. Ask yourself, does engaging in this back and forth serve my peace or my purpose? The goal is to stay present and not get caught up in the emotional whirlwind. Conclusion and call to action. To recap, we've talked about communication, boundaries, and self-reflection. You have the power to change your response, not the other person's behavior. If this video resonated with you, hit that like button. Share your thoughts and personal stories in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And for more content on building a life of peace and clarity, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Until next time, stay mindful and stay well.